Hello, friends. So, today we are with you with our Grandmaster Pravin Thipsay and myself, Chandrasekhar Gokhale. Let me introduce you particularly with Pravin Thipsay. He is a Grandmaster and maybe the first from Maharashtra who won the national championships. So we have Praveen with us. So today we will be discussing about, of course, chess in India as well the chess in US. This is what we would like to discuss with you all. So just before we actually proceed for the our session, if anyone can confirm that we are visible and audible to all the audience, your feedback will definitely help us to start the session on time. Anyone would like to confirm that? Even I will be checking on my another instrument. Just hold on.
At the moment, nobody is live apparently. I was just checking.
Live chat should on time. No, I think we are visible. Absolutely, क्या problem नहीं है.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we are clear.
If
But only nobody is there at the moment.
Yeah,
So, yeah, they should be joining.
maybe we should wait for 2 minutes, Praveen. What you say?
Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah, fine. I
Yeah.
think that's good. So, chess is a very vast subject, and chess in USA also, I
Uh,
think, quite a vast subject.
yeah. Now we have Arun with us. Hi, Arun. Arun has joined the session.
Yes, yes. I think great. We can
Yeah, we have
start talking
Vaibhav,
about
Dharmik, Ramu. Welcome.
yes.
So, as the topic says, we'll be discussing something about the chess in United States of America. Like everyone knows that basically the chess lover and what we call the main cream of chess actually originated from Russia, even though the game is of Indian origin. But today we'll get you introduced to the chess in USSR, not I'm sorry, USA. How, what strong players they had, how the chess actually improved in United States. For this we have our own Grandmaster Praveen and myself, International Master Chandrasekhar, with all of you. So hi Praveen, good evening.
Hello, hello. Good evening.
Hi. I remember Praveen that when you had been to Pune for a simultaneous way back, it was in Ferguson College time.
Yes, too many centuries, many decades
Remember like
back.
that. But I was the one, who had played a simultaneous, me and my brother. So it was something like a great thing what we had achieved that time, of course. So it's nice that I'm again back with you and I'm able to learn few more things from you on the live channel. So can you just explain us a little about the chess, particularly USA, but maybe a smaller idea about chess in India. And like everyone knows, ki Russia is very, very active, and very little about Russian chess, because you had a vast experience. You had played Olympiads, had been to many events. So here we go over to Praveen.
Hello, yeah. I think let me also introduce you to the viewers. Shekhar and his elder brother Jayant Gokhale. They were the stars of Indian junior team once upon a time. I think in the year 1994 or 95, around that time,
Yeah.
they won the national junior championships one after another. And it was new for a city like Pune, because I think at that time there were no great players from Pune. Those good players from Maharashtra always belonged to Mumbai in those days.
True.
But things changed, and I must say that Jayant and Chandrasekhar were pioneer in changing the scenario in Pune. And of course, he has become international master over the years. And of course, he is in training and yes, everything. So yes, chess in all over the world, I think, is a very complex story, because chess originated in India. It had different names. It was called Chaturangam. Chaturanga is the sort of army of four types. One is infantry, that is the basically the soldier army, and of course on the horse and camel and elephant. So that used to be a traditional warfare in India, say 2000 or 3000 years back. The Westerners believe that the game of chess originated about 1800 years back in India, and I believe around the same time in that way it went to Iran. So there they couldn't pronounce chaturang, so they started saying shatranj and so on, and it went to the West, and it took new forms. Everybody formed their own movements, and I think the real pioneers in international chess were Spain and Italy, I must say, in the 14th and 15th centuries, mainly in 15th centuries, but also 15th century and 16th century as well. At that time, they decided a need to play the game as per one rules, that is pawn moving two squares and a rule of castling and a rule of en passant, and that is how it moved. So basically what we play is a game that was modified by Europeans about 400 years back, and 400 to 500 years back, and that is the reason why we say chess is a bit different than shatranj. Basically it's the same, it's a game of warfare, and India has been doing great, and our Vishwanathan Anand and Koraru Hampi are the players who have won the world title. So Vishwanathan Anand 5 times world champion and once world rapid champion, that's a quicker chess, and Konaru Hampi has become world rapid women's champion also. Apart from that, junior, sub-junior, we have a lot, and we have as many as 65 grandmasters, and we have over 100,000, 1 lakh players, registered players playing. So we have a great history, but of course, we can trace back our player only, the games we can trace back only to 1851. Indian games prior to 1851 are not available. 1851, a British officer was posted in Kolkata, and he found one of the Kolkata players, Bonerjee, was very strong. So Cochrane, when he was working with East India Company, he played a match with Bonerjee and he won the match, but Indians played very good Bonerjee. So that's the first games available. But now, of course, everything is available, and we have entire history of Vishwanathan Anand. USA and USSR are different, had different trends altogether.
Praveen, we have one comment from our Omkar. He's saying India is already a powerhouse. We need someone who can compete for world champion title. So maybe I'll give him some answer. Omkar, I guess we already have Anand, Hari Krishna, Vidit, Hampi. I mean, all are in line, and the young fleet is coming up. What do you say about this, Praveen?
Yes, I think we have. I'm not really depending on this brigade. I'm also going to the younger generation, where you must have seen the online Olympiad. That is the junior boards where we did really well.
Yeah.
And our junior players at the moment are stronger than junior players of any other country.
Of course.
If you look at the previous Olympiad, which didn't have inclusion of juniors, the both men and women section were won by China. Yeah. But this time China was quickly eliminated because our junior players and junior girls were really better than others. So we can say that those who are our top junior players and junior girls and boys, they are likely to sort of be in position of Vishwanathan and Hampi in a time of a decade. So I think we have got excellent future, very bright future compared to other countries. We need to nurture this talent in the same way it's going. That's very important, I think.
Okay, something about United States of America?
Yeah, I think USA had a great, probably it had a good tradition of chess, but we are talking of the days in the early in the 19th century where there were no trains and no planes.
Oh,
so only journey was possible by ship, and ship took 3 months to come from USA to Europe. So obviously the chess, the world chess was only concentrated in Europe, and we can say that Roy Lopez and Greco can be considered as Galileo and Isaac Newton of chess. These are the two people who actually formed the basis of modern chess. And then players played them afterwards. In the 18th century, it was France who dominated because the emperor Napoleon Bonaparte himself was a very good player. The games are available and he played very brilliant combinations. And all along there was, I think, some chess going on in USA, but it wasn't known. But when a sort of talent like Paul Morphy came, and then at that time, at the age of 13, he became the US champion, and they felt a need for him to go and play in Europe, or rather the World Championships, sort of, because European Championship. And Morphy had a different problem. Being a genius, he passed out his degree of law at the age of 16.
Oh.
But in order to practice, he had to become 18 years of age.
Oh. That's
So major problem for advocate. So he decided to concentrate on chess. So that is why he came to Europe. And had it not happened, I think we would have all missed something very great.
Yeah.
I remember a comment by Peter Schwedler in the month of February that Carlsen, today's world champion, plays exactly like Paul Morphy.
Wow.
It's just a few months back in month of February. So Paul Morphy was, I think, something which nobody could believe. He found out everything that could be known about kingside attack, and he was a great. I mean, I can say that he was a complete player. And in fact, the way he was respected, because when Fischer was asked, where do you rate Paul Morphy? So Fischer said if Morphy was today, he would learn all the modern theory in less than 6 months and become world champion. That was said in 1972 after he became world champion. And of course, Karpov in his book gives 30% of his portion on the ex-world champions. He's concentrating only on Morphy. And one particular game of Morphy analyzed for 11 pages. So you can imagine what sort of impression Morphy has. Even in one of the conferences just now, Grandmaster Arthur Yusupo said that Morphy is a must. If you're teaching anybody, Morphy is a must. So even after his death, so many, more than a century and 5 decades later also, his importance is not lost. So I think he was a sort of genius who created a wave in the USA, not only in USA, but the chess world.
Yeah.
His next champion was known as Austrian Morphy. When after Morphy left, William Steinitz became the strongest player. So they started calling him Austrian Morphy because he played like Morphy. And all the Americans had, for some time, the great champions, they had expertise in great kingside attack skills. And let's see now, one of the most famous games by Morphy, but something which can be sort of appreciated by a beginner, also by the greatest master. I think something very universal and a fantastic game, I must say.
Pravin, I have selected, of course, your guidance was really helpful in that. The Paulsen versus Morphy.
Yes, that's one of the famous most games of Spassky. Maybe yes,
let's
great
go
game.
with this. So, friends, since the game was played many years back, basically the theory was not invented at a high level like the present one. So you might find that certain lines were not played in this time, were played very regularly over there. Since we will be concentrating on mainly on the middle game, their thinking, their strategy and their calculation part. So we won't be able to discuss more on the opening stage because opening was not that advanced at that level. Am I right, Pravin?
Yes. Opening, basically Morphy laid the foundation for a sound opening. Otherwise, it was just a skill between one player and another player. Morphy sort of found the idea of sound play and systematic attack.
So I've started the game with where Morphy was black. The game is e4, e5. I guess
Paulsen was the British champion then. Paulsen was the British champion and considered to be the strongest player in England in those days.
Are we able to see the moves on the board, friends?
Yes, I think only one move has appeared probably.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
So, okay, readers, I think we'll go to a very important position. We can give readers some time at that stage.
I think we can see this, the four knights even is played now also, but
yes, today also extremely popular, and I saw one of Carlsen's game. Carlsen had played with black side, of course, but a very recent game.
Okay, Pravin, I guess one of our subscribers definitely saying something about you. He says ki Pravin should be in the candidates. So I think you should take this as a motivational factor, and our viewers would be definitely happy, and even we all to see you in the same cycle.
Thank you all for your love, but I'm 61 years of age now.
But I think see, when I was a kid, I had seen you playing, so I guess still the age won't matter for you, I guess. Okay.
No, I'm playing seriously. Actually, after I'm playing seriously. Pandemic has stopped a bit, but yes, next year I play at least 6 tournaments.
Yeah. So We go with castles.
So this line is even today prevalent. It was played by in a slightly different position by I think
Even I
Ivan
used to play
Sokolov.
with black.
Ivan Sokolov had played similar line with black even few years back.
Yeah, even do you remember, Praveen? I had played the similar line BC5 against you.
Yes, many times in,
But
in our
C3. It was C3, not
game
knight
that ended
C3.
in a draw. Yes,
Yeah.
we had a draw in 1995 nationals. Yeah.
Yeah, in Chennai. In fact,
Yes. Yes.
you know that result was important for me than the qualification.
True. True. No, sometimes it's also the case.
I mean, I never thought about the my qualification to national A, but it was something like I got a black, and if I can hold the strongest player, then that feeling was more important for me. Okay, I was able to do that. Okay,
Yeah, it was a nice game too.
so knight into c6. So till this point, rook into e4. I'm sorry. Rook into e4. Bishop f3. Rook e6. c3. C3 is somewhat dubious, I guess. When I look at the position.
Yes, I think white wanted to play d4, and d4 control is not possible without c3. But weakening of d3 proves to be decisive.
Yeah.
And Paulson takes tactical measures, and he has seen probably what Morphy wanted to play, but the tactical measures probably he has taken. So let's come to that.
Yeah. Queen d3. It's
A nice move. A nice move. It cripples the black queen side. Black is not going to get. Oh, it cripples white's queen side. It's not. White is not going to get d4. Yet should white get d4, white will be better. But it's not easy to get d4 now.
yeah. Just one move and white would have been in a comfortable position.
True. True.
b4.
Yes, bishop must go on the diagonal. A4. This looks like a solution to the problem because he wants to play A into B5. And yes, you can't support the pawn.
Like
so black's move is practically forced.
If black plays a6, A into b5. Now C
Is
into
a double
b5
pin.
not possible and A into b5 not possible. So queen into b5, then white get d4. So this is
Yes,
what I
it
guess white was planning.
Yes, it's a very strong position. And the queen takes the pawn. Now c6 is attacked. And as Karpov analyzed this game also, Karpov found that this was the only move to keep advantage. Black played bishop d7, a very nice move.
Yeah.
And white wants to develop the bishop to a3, but the d2 pawn could hang also. And lot would be a problem. There would be a lot of problems. Black playing c5 is also a problem. So the major concern is to drive away this d3 queen. And that cannot be done except queen c2. So queen c2 has to be tried, and queen c2 is not possible at the moment. So white plans to play queen c2 next.
Yeah. So he played rook a2 with the idea
Yeah,
of
the next
queen
threat is
c2.
queen c2, and after, because the bishop cannot support d3 any longer, so after queen c2, queen into queen, rook into queen, white gets d4 with a clear advantage because black bishop on b6 will be completely blocked, and bad pawn structure, everything. White seems to be in a better position if white gets queen c2, and here I think the genius comes into.
No, yeah.
Yes.
I think he has tactically prevented queen c2 because queen c2 can be answered with queen into f1.
So
King
now
into f1, rook e1.
queen c2, yes, queen c2 is now met with, yeah, I think we can just show it to the readers.
Sure.
Queen c2, queen f1 check, and rook e1 met.
Wait.
F5, F5 and we'll play the move.
No, it's getting hanged up. It's not.
Okay, readers, can you think what, can you tell us what happens for queen c2?
So queen c2, I guess queen f1 and king into f1, rook e1 would be a mate. So white played queen a6. He must have thought now he is able to move the queen by force or at least exchange it. He might be dreaming.
Yeah, I think black must move the queen. Black must move the queen basically. So
if queen f5, I guess d4 and then
Yes.
bishop e3, and I guess white is comfortable.
Yes, true.
But now,
So viewers, any suggestions?
hi Kastub, Tanmay, anyone?
Mate. Okay. Tanmay Male says mate.
Wow.
Okay, Tanmay, very good.
But Tanmay, remember, for queen into f1, white is not going to play king into f1. White will play queen into f1. So
Yes.
that won't be a mate. So mate with queen f1 is not possible. Is there any other way to give a mate threat, expose white's king, and take the advantage of black's rook and both the bishops? Any way to do that? Omkar says queen into f3. Omkar, if you find the move, fantastic. Queen into f3. I guess Omkar is aware of the game, I guess. Omkar?
Yes, perhaps. Yeah, but a great move.
Fantastic.
And preparation for the combination started 2 or 3 moves before BD7 and Rook A8. So queen into F3, I think one of the greatest moves. Pawn into queen only move.
Nice. We had Priyangshu and Arun both said queen into f3.
Yes, okay. Priyangshu knows Rook G3 also. Queen B1 was Tanmay's recommendation, but Queen B1 wasn't really great. It's possible, but Queen into F3 is good, Tanmay. Better than Queen B1.
No, I think for queen b1, even now, he can just continue with the plan of d4.
Yes, Queen by D4 will be possible because
Yeah.
there is. Then he wants to play Rook E1 probably. Queen B1, the main problem was Rook B2.
Yeah,
And
forcing him to back.
Queen has no
go back.
Rook B2 and Queen has to go back. Tanmay, so Queen B1 was otherwise okay, but Rook B2 was very strong.
True. Now, Arun says queen f3, rook g6, king h1. Yes.
Bishop H3, Rook G1. Yes, but I think that's yeah, it's the right analysis. But Rook G1 is not a move your opponent will play.
Yeah.
So okay, we'll go to Bishop H3 and now Queen D3. Ponsel explained why he didn't play Queen D3, and Morphy showed how he was about to refute Queen D3. So yes, what do you do for Queen D3 here? Bishop into f2 on the earlier move instead of rook g6 would be a mistake because white would play d4 and defensive rook would really join the f2 point. Yeah.
Bishop h2 is not possible, Tanmay.
Bishop f2 he meant, I think, no? So Tanmay, bishop f2 would be met with d4 and a2 rook suddenly opens up for defense. What he meant bishop h2 is bishop f2. I think.
Yeah.
So d4, after d4 white will win because you have only one bishop.
Arun, in your analysis, queen d3, bishop g2, king g1, bishop f3, white can go
Queen
with
into
queen
g6.
Yeah.
Queen into g6 and d4.
Yeah.
And that's one pawn down. That's but exchange up, yeah.
Exchange up. But the b6 bishop is totally out of the game.
Yes,
So that will be an
one pawn
easy-
down and
easy,
bishop. Yeah, so I think white should be winning after
Yeah.
that. So queen d3 looks good for white, but as Morphy and Paulson explained, so queen d3 is met with f5,
Yeah. Continuing the same.
and there is no yes, and there is the threat of bishop g2 check is deadly. So
Yeah.
there's no defense. But yes, I think queen d3 f5. I would even go to the level of you can just show the moves perhaps queen d3 f5.
No. So, Pravin, I am not sure why it's not allowing
Ah.
me to make the move.
Okay, maybe
It's not allowing.
they don't-
I think because of the
Okay.
screen sharing, it's not allowing me. I don't know.
Mhm.
Something is wrong. Okay. But
Okay, I
queen
think-
d3, f5, and same idea with bg2, king g1, and
Bishop f3 mate.
bishop f3 mate. So rook d1.
So yes, rook d1 was played, and now any guesses? Bishop g2 check. Tanmay, very good,
So
very good. Tanmay, bishop g2 check, king g1, and now
Anyone? Arun, Tanmay, Priyangshu? You all are doing good. Just share your analysis. I guess the first thing what we should calculate is bishop into f3 because we are getting a pawn.
yes,
So just go with this.
yes,
Only move is king f1.
Yes, and here, as subsequently Morphy pointed out, Rook G2 was the strongest line, but he finished the game with equal efficiency. But he said Rook G2 was stronger, threatening Rook into F2 check. So Rook G2, D4, Rook into H2, and there's no defense to Rook H1
H1,
mate.
yeah.
So he suggested that. So Rook G2 was a nice move here, of course, but it was suggested by Morphy himself. But he played Bishop G2 check and King G1 and Bishop E4 check.
Bishop
And
E4
king,
check
king
was
F1, bishop F5. Yeah,
that
bishop
was a good
E4 check, king
idea.
F1, and bishop F5, and leads to mate. So we can stop here.
Yeah.
I think bishop E4 check, king F1, bishop F5,
True.
and followed by bishop H3 mate. There is no defense.
No defense. True. Because of the bishop on B6. So
Yes,
both
so a
the bishops were
fantastic
being
game,
withdrawn.
and the queen side didn't participate. Just keep the C1 bishop on G3, and white is winning.
Yeah.
So
True.
I think you must make use of. So this game, I think, it became sort of evergreen game. And viewers, you can even today you can see in most of the books of combination, this game is there. So Morphy was not only a player; he just created a history. When he played the way he played, it sort of generated waves all over the world and new type of chess, kingside attack and checkmate. Earlier, yes, there were combinations, but accuracy of the attack, Morphy never played wrong combination, and that was, I think, unknown at that time. And in USA particularly, a new generation, a new breed of players came, and we saw Pillsbury and Marshall, two players, perhaps which wouldn't have played chess at all had Paul Morphy not been so successful. So I think that's very great tradition that he developed, and all over the world, even today, 170 years, 160 years after this game is shown to everybody. I think 170 years, more than 170 years, and is still one of the most popular games in coaching programs of USSR and European chess. So everybody teaches this game how
It
to
was
attack.
played
So,
in 1857.
yes,
It was played in
1857. So
1857.
43 plus 20, for 61, 63 years back.
Yeah.
So great, yes.
Yeah,
So Bishop,
just like Pravin, Arun is having some doubts. Arun is asking rook e1, bishop h3 doesn't work. Arun, can you tell me at what point you are talking about? Arun, Prasanjit, who are the players here? White is Paulson and black
White
is
was British
Morphy.
champion Paulson, and black was Paul Morphy.
No, I think
Rook e1, bishop h3, king goes back to h1.
again then black will be forced to go for a draw with the perpetual.
Yes, yeah, king h1 is there is a square on h1. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Aaron got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, we'll go to the next one. Friends, you must have seen that Pravin gave us information about Morphy, and we saw a fantastic game, a fantastic combination played by Morphy in a serious tournament. Now let's go with the next one. Any guys, do you know who are the strong GMs in 1900 in US? Anyone? Of course, when even I started playing for the first 5 to 6 years, even I was not aware because I was more exposed to the current material. But later, when I went on with the classical material, then of course I found there were many good players, many strong players. So okay, let's go with the next game. It's Pillsbury versus Lasker.
Yes, I think something very important because at one stage, after Morphy beat everybody in Europe, Morphy gave up chess because he started practicing law and he became a professional and he stopped playing chess because it was not possible to come from USA to Europe. It took 3 months or something to sail. And naturally, Morphy stopped playing chess and there was a big vacuum, big lacuna, big vacuum in the American chess. But then immediately on the horizon came Pillsbury, Harry Nelson Pillsbury, who was considered to be the most talented player in the world. And he was to play world championship matches against Dr. Lasker or Steinitz. But unfortunately, he was taken ill and he died early. So while he was on peak, Emmanuel Lasker had become world champion. in 1894, and he crushed Pillsbury in a very nice game. And then Pillsbury went home, and then few days later he said that I have found how to tackle Laskar's way of playing. But unfortunately, Pillsbury fell ill and he couldn't travel, and he was waiting to play against Laskar. He couldn't get an opportunity. And in 2004, when he was almost on deathbed, he was in a very bad health condition, and he was on the deathbed. He got a chance to play against Emanuel Lasker. And Emanuel Lasker at that time was the world champion and who had beaten everybody. He had beaten Tarash, he had beaten Morphy, he had beaten Marshall, Tarash, everybody. And Pillsbury beat him in this game, and this game is one of the greatest attacking games, I must say. And Pillsbury died in 4 or 5 months from playing this game. So that's, I think, one of the great things. Please go to,
Pravin,
yeah, please.
Arun has shared a fantastic quote. What he says, Paul Morphy quote that I like is help your pieces so that they can help you. Very instinctive also.
Yes, of course. It's a warfare, isn't it?
Yeah.
We know the story of Abhimanyu, that he went to the enemy camp alone and he was killed. So why should our piece become Abhimanyu and be killed by enemy? True. Let all of them go together. So chess is very much like life, real warfare.
Yeah.
So I think, Shekhar, can you go to move number 7?
Sure. I'll just move the pieces but a bit faster so
yes,
that they will get
fast,
opening
yeah.
also.
Yeah.
It's a normal Queen's Gambit declined line. Now it's
and semi-Tarash system.
Yeah.
Yes, and here Pillsbury had played Queen H4 in 1896. And he was crushed by Dr. Lasker in a very brilliant game. In fact, every world champion, including Kasparov and Karpov, have covered both these games. And the importance of not only preparation, but sort of sticking to the ideas and trying to find out the best of it. After losing the game, Pillsbury didn't blame the opening, saying that my opening was bad. He said that I missed out something and I will improve. And he did. And that is what we see. He played bishop into f6 instead.
Yeah, bishop f6.
Yeah. And then started the irresistible attack. We can go directly straight towards the end of the game when you can read, when the viewer can see how the attack has. Here, black must keep the king in center now because the king side has been shattered.
Like if in case black plays queen into f6, then
yes.
queen f6, gf6, pawn d5, knight into d5.
Yes, at least one pawn is lost without any compensation. So d4 would be a mistake because of long castle. White was already threatened into long castle and started dangerous attack with e4. So dc4 prevents long castle. That's a relief.
Yeah.
Lasker was master of defense, so you will not find any mistake from black side.
True. Priyanshu is asking, is it okay to bring queen out in the opening? See, with the normal, most of the openings being a major piece, it's advisable that we should not develop in the early stage. The simple reason is opponent's pieces keep on attacking our pieces and get self-developed. And we keep on moving the same piece again and again. So normally it's not advisable. But nowadays theory has improved. Certain lines, in fact, queen is developed at an earlier stage.
And also I think there are some rules which can be violated by geniuses.
Yeah.
Common person shouldn't venture that, but generally there are some players who change the entire setup. I remember Vishwanathan Anand once made a move and it was not taken as a theoretical move. So he said, tomorrow onwards my move will be the main move. And it happened within 3 months. What move Anand suggested over the board, that became the main move after 3 months. So yes, sometimes. So here it's possible because black is unable to castle and queen has a good post at h5. Anytime the queen is attacked with bishop e7 and f5, queen will be very stable on h5, attacking f7. Yeah. So it's a very clear post and dangerous because f7 is a weak point and black will not be able to castle. So f7 is sensitive. From that point of view, queen h4 and h5 are really powerful in this position. Had the pawn been on g6, for example, then queen wouldn't have been good here. It would have been good. Yes, rook d1 a natural move. Let's go quick. Yes. Black is unable to castle. White is going to castle, of course. Again, a good move, allowing your opponent to get a pawn in the center. And queen makes but one more move, because queen exchanging would lead to slightly better position for black. Now black, always playing for win. Dr. Laskar, you know how he was, always playing for win. So he goes and captures the pawn. Yes. So rook c8, it seems that white has blended a piece, but of course not.
Because of the d7?
Yes. So if black takes on c3, queen into d7 is checkmate. Yes, but black seems to be fairly safe. Two bishops and the king well protected, all bodyguards around the king. Yes, wanting to give a check on f6, but black has ready.
Yeah.
Black has another bodyguard ready. Yes, so black is doing well. And it needs a Pillsbury to attack.
Of course, bishop into d6 is definitely not worth considering, because black king will get stuck in the center. c7 rook is
and
attacked.
the rook is attacked, and
Yeah.
queen b6 is only move, and then queen into e5. And the
Some
game
point
is
even
about to
bishop
get
b5
over.
might come.
Yes.
Bishop b5, queen d8. If queen b5, queen c7. Like if bd6, queen d6, queen b6, maybe even bishop b5, something like this.
No, queen into queen is threatened. No? So, yeah, queen
But I think
b6,
just
queen into
capture
e5.
Yeah.
Queen into e5, and with equal material, white has a crushing attack, only mooking effect. It's not possible to give the black bishop. It's very weak. And let's go to, yes, another nice retreat. So queen wants to move, and first f pawn wants to be, the f line should be opened.
Priyanshu, isn't f3 a bad square to place the knight, as it blocks f2 and loses tempo? But knight on f3 is a strong piece. It's controlling the main d4 and e5 squares and makes your way for your king to castle. So knight f3 is much better than playing pawn f2 to f3.
Yeah, generally, no, this is, I think the opening of f line now, rook takes f4, attack looks very strong. First queen d4, a very important move, so that if f6 weakening is made compulsory, and instead of rook, the queen takes on f4, so one tempo is gained. c7 rook is attacked, so one tempo.
This is very interesting move, knight e5.
Yes, very strong as well.
I think he's going to attack the f6 pawn slowly.
Yes, and knight, you can see the knight goes
g4, yeah.
Yes, it attacks f6 pawn and forces black to
f5 is forced.
play.
He doesn't have
Yes, f5 is forced, and now white to play and win. I think it's a very great combination.
Yes. Check.
And comes a great move. Queen into bishop cannot be played because of knight e5 check.
And e6 is under attack. If your queen leaves the fifth rank, rook into f5 check will come.
Yes, so only move.
One bishop c4. Suddenly black king is in the mating net, in the clouds. I mean, it's about to get mated.
Yes, only way to guard this point is this move. And now another great decision, to give away two rooks for queen.
Yeah, with rook f5.
Yes. Queen into f5, rook f1, queen into f1, and king into f1. But I'm not going to retreat. Yeah, rook into c4 again, knight e5 check was there. So queen h5 check and knight e5.
Unstoppable mate.
Yes, so black resigned. And unfortunately, a few months later, I think only 4 months later, Pillsbury passed away. And it seemed that the US chess again was doomed. But no, Frank J.S. Marshall, the latest US champion then, became once world number 2 and twice world number 3. And he was among the world's original grandmasters. The first 5 grandmasters, the title was given by the Tsar of Russia. And he gave it to Alekhine, Capablanca, Laskar, Tarash and Marshall. That's after Pillsbury passed away. So yes, Marshall, in his own way, he had his own attacking style, very similar. He had grasped great faculties or great abilities of Morphy as well as Pillsbury, and he did attack in a more systematic way from the very opening. Can we know about Marshall? I think there is a good combination, one of the most famous combinations by him.
Sorry, Pravin? Please
Yeah,
check.
Franco's Marshall. So I think there's a great combination by Marshall as well.
Okay,
You
I'll
know,
go with the Janowski versus Marshall, right?
yes, I think one of the great combination from their match they played match
Yeah.
because
I think it was the short and sweet, right?
somebody had to play Dr. Laskar for the World Championship. So
I think
it
it
was
was
a
short and
challengers
sweet.
match.
Just 21 moves and it's over.
Yes, a fantastic game. I think it was sixth or seventh game of the match.
Normally, with a Petrov defense, we never find the game gets over in 20, 21 moves.
Yes,
Because,
yes. No, Marshall won so many games with black in Petrov defense,
Mhm.
and his idea is giving away the B7 pawn, for example, Queen B3 and Queen into B7. That was originally Marshall's idea, and Marshall's gambit was also Marshall's idea. Marshall was a great strategist of attack,
Mhm.
but unlike Morphy and Pillsbury, he planned more for attack.
Yeah.
So he prepared well and attacked, and that is where the difference was. Of course, the times had changed, and it was possible to. Yes, for example, he violates opening principle very soon.
That's check
White
to
had
d5. I think
yes.
castle
So
is a normal thing.
it seemed that Black has completed the development, and it is time to complete the development of the queen side, like Bishop F5 or such move. But no, immediately there's a
Bishop b4
powerful
check.
move coming. Check. And because if white plays knight d2, then knight into d2 and rook e8 check, white will not be able to castle anyway.
Yeah.
So this brilliant move, moving the same piece again and again for the second time, but that is what we recommend against. But it's the best move here because you prevent your opponent from castling. Even if you have played knight d2, you would still lose the right to castle. Knight into d2, bishop into d2, rook e8 check. If yours is clear, so by making a second move of the piece, he stopped his opponent from castling.
Omkar, I know what you are saying, a 6 move defeat in Petrov, but that was a sheer blunder. But
Okay,
this was a played game.
let's forget.
Yeah. So you can blunder. Many of the players have blundered in third move, fourth move, fifth move. This was a played game with a fantastic combination.
And it's a world championship match, qualifier to world championship
Yeah.
match. So okay, that game ended in a blunder. We don't talk about the 6 move game.
Yeah.
Any game that ends before 10 moves will not take into serious consideration because it comes because of 1 move blunder. Yes, so black is
Now
again
here we are.
facing them. Yeah, white seems to be good because h7 is attacked, b4 bishop is attacked. What is Marshall doing? That's what Janowski must have thought. I'm going to win the h pawn and I'm going to play perhaps h4, h5 as well. And I'll safeguard my king. Bishop e3 is already very safe. h4 will give me dangerous attack. Bishop into h7 check. And what is black doing? Black has undeveloped queen side. So
The
here comes the
queen into f3.
new Morphy. Yes, same move coming from the champion of the same country. After say this was played in 1912, so about 50 years after that game.
Yeah.
So what?
Priyanshu is asking to get better. Should one memorize different openings or use own understanding? I
No,
personally
memorizing is I think absolutely wrong.
yeah
What do you think, Bigger? Yes.
no
Memorizing
must
and
use own
one different
understanding.
move and you are at loss to know. Memorizing of anything doesn't work except if you are going a objective exam. Like sometimes an objective question exam, then memorizing works. Otherwise, memorizing doesn't work. You have to think independently in every position. And opening, you don't actually need to prepare opening once you understand the strategic concepts of the position. Understand the strategy of the position, and you will not be in any trouble.
Okay, so I won't be showing you g into f3 because bishop
Yes,
h3 check
it's a
and
simple
rook
mate.
e1.
Yes.
Yeah. Still, knight c6. Still, he can't capture g into f3 because same bishop h3 check and rook e1 mate.
Oh, Jubin Desai has joined. Hello, Jubin.
Yeah.
Omkar, of course, is known to us.
There's a little lag coming, I guess.
Yes, it's about 15 few seconds lag will be there always. Yeah, so another nice move. And bishop into pawn check. And black seems to be in trouble because white has guarded the mate and black is a piece up. isn't it? Black is a piece down, so black seems to be in trouble.
But as
So
of
has
now,
has Marshall blundered, or he has something up his sleeves?
something nasty in his mind, definitely.
Yes.
The main
And
problem is
now
king on g1, rook on h1. It will take at least n number of moves to come out of the mating net. Even if
they can
I
never
plan
come
to
back unless the
double,
h3 bishop is exchanged with
yeah,
something.
rook e2. If he moves either of the bishop, he will capture the remaining bishop and
One
this
bishop
will have to
goes.
come. Yeah,
Rook c1. And here the strongest move was rook into c2. Sad that you cannot show it, but for the viewers, rook
yeah.
into c2, rook into c2, rook e8,
Idea
rook
rook c1.
c1. And can you spot a mate? Rook into c2, rook into c2, rook e8, rook c1. And can you spot the mate?
Wait, Praveen, let me try. Earlier, though it was not coming. Let me see if I can do this time.
I think so. I think you will be. Yes.
Yes, I
Yes.
can. I think there was some problem with that file. It seems.
Yeah. Threatening rook e1 mate. So either bishop c3 or rook c1. Any one of the moves. Yes. Rook e6. And rapid mate.
Forced mate.
Yes. Maybe two moves. Bishop d2 only. So this fantastic combination would have ended the game. What Marcel played was also winning, but
I think
subsequently showed
it's basically the
that
same idea, but
yes, yeah, but a different move
yeah,
order.
this was a short
Bishop,
term.
yeah. So now he played yes, rook e3. I think rook c2 and rook e6 was more accurate, but okay, he wants to play stylish.
Yeah, or maybe he must have seen that winning line. So
Yes. So pawn into e3. I think we can just explain pawn into e3 and rook g2 check. And rook into c2 check, and rook into c1 check, and rook into h1.
it's over.
So everything is gone. King of, yeah. So I think a fantastic finish to a nice game. And yes, and the mate took place.
Now another rook to f6. Same way. Finally, he went with the same idea.
Yes. So I think that was almost the end of the match because the match. Janowski could never recover from this defeat. Janowski was a great attacking player himself, and yeah, that's a great game. And then, of course, after Marshall, then came the first. During the Marshall's time, came the first World War, and it hampered the US chess for some time, for sure, because there are no tournaments in Europe, and in both the wars, I think the entire Western Europe suffered a lot. The chess in both these countries suffered a lot, and though during or before the Second World War and even afterwards, there are great players produced by USA. Rubin Fine, Grandmaster Rubin Fine was one of them, author of two great books. Of course, many chess books, but he was a psychoanalyst, and one of the leading. He became after Second World War. He became one of the greatest psychoanalysts in the world, and as a result, he couldn't play chess. And he has written two great books. One is Basic Chess Endings, which is absolutely
It's
a great
fantastic.
book for
Yeah.
a must read for every chess player.
Yeah.
And Psychology of a Chess Player. That's a book which was really has sold several thousands of copies, and a great book. So where he writes the psychology of a chess player, starting from quotations of Sigmund Freud. So it's sad that such a great master was lost by chess because he had something better to do in life. And then, of course, Samuel Reshevsky, who unfortunately couldn't make to world number one or world number two, but he has defeated every great player in the USSR, and he had defeated a famous game. He won a famous game against Botvinnik, which turns out to be the existing. You can't believe it's in the game played in 1948 by Reshevsky against Botvinnik. The first few moves of theory are the same, and Karpov defeated Yusupo with black pieces 3 times in the same opening, and even today the opening theory remains the same. So Samuel Reshevsky and Rubin Fine are two very great names in American chess, and had they not been at that time, had they been at a different time, probably they would have had even better results. There came the great era of Bobby Fischer. Bobby Fischer, of course, changed everything in the world after second World War. While there was no opportunities for chess players all over the world, the USSR was different. In USSR, the administration started supporting chess, and as a result, the USSR really flourished after Second World War. And there's no challenge from the Western world, and Samuel Reshevsky couldn't really make it. William Lombardi became world junior champion, but he couldn't become a strong player at the world seniors level. And then it was only Bobby Fischer. We know everything about Bobby Fischer. So Bobby Fischer came. He raised the world championship prize money from $1,400 to $78,000, which was a great leap, I think, in those days. And he made the game of chess world famous rather than the East European famous. It became world famous game. He promoted the game everywhere. But after Fischer left, there was again a great lacuna in the American chess, because there were no really. Fischer wasn't a generation or a teacher or anything. Fischer was a phenomenon by himself, and when phenomenon disappears, there's nothing else that can be done, because you don't have anybody. He didn't have a training system, so he didn't train anybody. His knowledge faded away, and the US chess had to depend on the immigrants from the East European countries and from the USSR. So I think some great names is Maxim Dlugy, who wasn't the first generation or second generation of Russians, who won the World Junior for USA in 1986. I think it was a great event. He not only won the World Junior in 1986 in Dubai, but during the Chess Olympiad in 1986, he also won the Blitz Championship, where more than 30 grandmasters played. And I also played that. I lost both the games to Dlugy, but I finished fourth in that tournament. It was a good event. So Dlugy became a great star on the international horizon for some time. He couldn't take it to the best. And then we have the great Katakamsky, who had become world number 3 on 2 occasions. Russian born, who moved to USA and became and surprised everybody with his skills. So let's see what Kamsky was. I think a game from Kamsky.
Yeah, I'll go with the game with the Kamsky. Yeah, here we go. The game was played in World Candidates. Gata Kamsky.
None other than world number 2, Nigel Short. Nigel Short had lost a match with Kasparov in 93. So, of course, he was still considered to be one of the best players in the world, because Kasparov was sort of invincible in those days. Short had defeated Karpov in 1992. So, great player. Even today, Short is a great player.
Yeah. I think he's holding a post in FIDE World Chess Federation as well, right?
Yes, vice president in FIDE, yes. But yes, as a player, his contribution is immense.
I think he had played many events in India.
Yes, quite a few, yeah, true.
The Nimzo Indian defense. Onkar Chakradev says justice for Yasser Seirawan. No mentions. Onkar, we have many players like Kedanov, Zuzа Polgar, who are really doing great in US chess. Of course, the list is a big, long one. So without, it will be really difficult for us to take all the names.
Yasser Seirawan didn't make it to candidates, isn't it? He basically was the second of some strong players, but he didn't make to the candidate tournament. So candidates matches. So he wasn't considered to be one of the best players in the world. But yes, he was
a very strong player, yeah. But
yeah, he even now, and he's a complete American. Yes, that we can say that from the American chess he was there. But he didn't make any. I mean, he didn't have a school. He was into mainly in journalism, and he wrote articles. But yes, his participation or his schools didn't really do much to the US chess. I think Kamsky did more wonders by his playing standards, playing strength.
I think there's getting some lag. Pravin had made some moves.
Okay. I think we will wait. I think what I must show is typical of every strategic school recommends. So I think we go to move around 19 probably if you can wait for some like to go and take us straight to move 19.
This is 18th move over.
Yeah, and white played queen f3 here probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, bishop
So,
h4.
so famous position, a very common position. And no, I think not bishop h4, no?
No, wait. It's. I think this the system is getting hanged up.
I think he played knight b8 in that position, something like that. Yeah, okay. So, sorry viewers, there's some lag in the,
Yeah.
his chess base has hung, so
Maybe
as soon as, yeah.
in the meantime,
As
let's
soon
go
as,
with the Kasparov's position. What we had planned up. That's also interesting.
oh yes, okay, okay. Can you, okay, this, but are you able to get out of, are you able to load another
let
game?
me check. Let me check.
Yeah, because your chess base would have is stuck, no? So you
let me
can't.
check. I have already changed this position on the board.
Yes.
Let's see if it comes on the board. I've changed
Yes.
it to the Kasparov and Nakamura.
Yes, this game was played just recently, but it's enough to show the style of Nakamura. The recent generation, of course, of the top Americans, Nakamura and Caruana, world number 2 Caruana, and Nakamura and Wesley. So there's so many strong American players now. America has now leading players in the world, and they're all American. They aren't the players who have moved from Russia. They're not the migrated players, but their own players. And Nakamura is, I think, the pioneer of this generation, which really took it to a world level. I think after Fischer, Nakamura was the first totally American player who has gone to the level of being almost the world champion. He's, I think, world champion in one of the Blitz probably. He was a world champion in Blitz earlier. Now I think it's Dubov, but yes, Nakamura was world champion and he's still highest rated Blitz player in the world ahead of Carlsen, even now.
Pravin,
So-
just again, the portion is not still on the board. I mean, I have managed to get it, but
Yeah, now it's there. Now it's there on the board. Now it's on the now viewers can see that.
no,
And
it's not the Kasparov and Nakamura.
yeah, the recently
Yeah, now
played
it's
game,
good
of
now.
course.
Now it's
Kasparov
good.
wasn't in his good form. Kasparov was retired in 2003. So Kasparov was probably quite happy about his position. Position looks normal and no problems
Yeah.
for white. And here came a stunning move, Bishop G6 by Nakamura. So isn't he losing a piece? Can you move? Yeah, Bishop G6. So I think, okay, Kasparov saw through the trap, but the trap is very nice. We'll show the trap, I think.
Yeah, the simple idea. If our question is, if white plays f5, the idea is disconnecting the bishop of g6, and now e4 is hanging.
So has Nakamura blended after all?
Aryan, yes, what you said is right. Fabiano and so are definitely migrated to US, but now most of them are Americans.
No, Nakamura's mother migrated.
No, Fabiano and so. I said about
Yeah,
Fabiano,
yeah.
yeah.
So Fabiano is not first. He's, I think, not first generation migrated. His
Yeah.
parents must have migrated.
Yeah.
Fabiano, from his schooling days, from the first standard itself, he was in America. So Italy must be his father must have.
True.
Fabiano is originally from the family which is from Italy, but I think his father has shifted over there. And Wesley so also, I don't think he has migrated. Anyway, I think they are fully Americans. The name itself shows. Wesley, the name itself shows. So the second generation, we can take it as a real. Yes.
Pravin Priyansh is asking, do you top players actually calculate all lines for a move in middle game?
It depends on the style of the player and it depends on that which time control you are playing, isn't it?
True.
When it was 200 was 40 moves, we analyzed everything and we played flawless games. I mean, by we, I mean the chess world. Even today, the best played games, quality-wise, are the Kasparov-Karpov match.
True.
No two world champions are able to play that level now because the 2.5 hours has gone to 2 hours and sort of different time controls. And they had 2.5 hours, 40 moves and 16 moves per hour and so on and so many. So games played for 7 or 8 hours. So even end games played
I
with
guess,
perfection.
Praveen, we used to play that time controls. I had played many tournaments with this. Particularly the
Yeah.
national beats, I had played with these time control.
Yes. Yeah, I think
Okay.
Gautam has come up with a nice move, Queen
Yeah,
A2. Yes.
Gautam, Arun, and Aryan. All of they say Queen
Yeah,
A2.
yeah. So very good. Queen A2 and then C3.
Oh,
What do you
sorry.
do for C3? Yes, Aryan also, and yes. I think they have probably the C3 hasn't appeared yet. We'll wait for C3 to appear.
Yeah, even Queen A2 didn't appear.
Yes, C3 has now appeared. And what next? Rook into D3. Yes, Arun, correct. Very good.
Yes,
Rook
fantastic.
into D3 and F into G6. Yes, Rook into D3, F into G6.
Yes, Ansh, you're right.
Yes, it's there was yeah, it's appearing. It's appearing. Anish also has yes.
Aryan says NC5.
Yeah, but NC5 is a normal game. No, G into H7 is also a possibility. So this doesn't seem to be fantastic for black, but as Kasparov pointed out, Nakamura had intended knight d4 here.
Yeah. Ida Queen A1 mate.
Taking with knight is not possible because of rook f1 and queen a1 and queen into f1. So c
Yeah.
into d4 is only move.
Even
C into
before rook d2
d4.
check will come and then Queen into F1.
Yeah, so c into d4 is only move.
Yeah.
And now comes rook b3.
And mate follows.
Yes, so that sort of brilliance Nakamura has. I think Nakamura's secret is that he is able to play the normal game and setting these hidden traps,
True.
which are not very easily possible to. It's not possible to view them, see through them so easily. But of course, Kasparov is a lion or a tiger of all times, and even at this time, yeah, even after 17 years after his retirement, he saw through the trap and he didn't
Yeah, he didn't play
play.
F5.
He didn't play F5, but his position was bad. He said that he was intending F5, and when he couldn't play F5, he realized his position was worse.
Yeah.
So that we couldn't tell. So that's a sort of tactic which didn't appear, but you always make use of that. I think that was a fantastic game. And yes, we couldn't show the Kamsky competition, but Kamsky's short game from 1995 World Championship cycle you must see. And it's a typical strategic game, how to play with isolated pawn. And people criticized Kamsky for being a boring player, but I think he was a very enterprising player as well. And even today he is. And of course, Nakamura, Leslie So, and Caruana was on the verge of drawing the match with USA has great future as well. And in the Olympic, in the online chess Olympiad, you must have seen the top seed were Russia and second seed were USA. So of course India did very well and became joint gold winners. But USA was also good, and US chess in US also has a lot of importance all over the world because then there's a lot of media attention and a lot of popularity. So I think we'll make more episodes on the chess in USA. Perhaps we can make it chess in USA vis-a-vis chess in USSR, isn't it?
Yeah. I think maybe the 3 sessions per would be interesting. In fact, to all the viewers, I can say even few things I was able to understand because of Praveen. Few things when we discuss about this, even I was not aware of the few things. Of course, many of the things, like particularly he was a psychologist, a sports psychologist. I was not aware of this.
Aryan has a question that Kasparov and Nakamura are the same style. No, they are entirely different.
Yeah.
Nakamura is a rash and attacking player, and Kasparov is a player who always plays very safe. His opponent may not understand what's happening, but he's always aware of what is happening on his board. Kasparov never plays a variation without fully analyzing, and Nakamura is a sort who is able to take risks. So there are, I would say that they are opposite styles, completely opposite styles.
But very strong with their own style.
Yes, very strong with their own styles. Very often, Nakamura is in losing position and he wins, and Kasparov never gets into losing position. So they are different styles, entirely different.
So the result remains same. Both of them wins.
Opponent loses.
In fact, that's
So-
what matters. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. I think nice being with you, viewers,
Yeah.
and
time
do
is coming up.
subscribe to Unacademy because these are the YouTube sessions, but we also have regular classes where you can ask your questions and we reply to your questions, and where we teach you theoretically. We actually teach you opening, middle games, and concepts and end games, everything, attack, defense, all the strategies. So just go to Unacademy and become a member, and you will have more than 200 hours per month live interactive sessions. It's a lot of material. So best wishes to you, and nice all of you to attend to your queries. Bye then.
Yeah. Same here. So hope all of you have enjoyed this, and hoping to see you on our next online sessions. So till then, bye and take care.
Thank you.